instead of one expert, we have two experts from Thailand. They are two sisters based in Bangkok, Thailand, and they are introduced by our member, Ploy, in Boston. So thank you very much, Ploy. In and Buay, they are two sisters who has been working with tourism as a small family business for the last 16 years. Their approach is quite unique. Instead of taking tourists to popular beaches and visit the famous main tourist spots, they work very closely with local communities, such as fishing village and rice farms, flower farms, in order to show a unique, authentic way of life, how people live on a day-to-day basis. So very lucky we are able to invite these two experts who've been working with local communities in Thailand for so many years to talk about their stories and let them take us to a unique Thai farm. I have a couple questions for both of you, Ing and Buay. Number one is, how did you get into tourism? Did you study tourism? What happened? So,
hi everyone. My name is Eng. I'm an elder sister of Buay. Actually, I have a degree in economics. I haven't worked for the financial firm or anything at all. I start my career, like in for like administration a little bit, and then the whole work experience is in tourism by accident. I already told like Minji that I was in America for a year and a half, and 2002 I returned back to home and I visit a friend of mine. She's her father owned the car garage for fixing a mini car, and I met one person over there, and she was a tour guide, and I had like 20-minute talk to her, and and she told about her work, how she liked to be on the ground, on the field. That was just 20-minute discussion, and after that I was in the tourism from then to now.
yes. So now both you and your sister have been in tourism for 16 years. So that was a big commitment from a 20 minutes conversation. What was your special moment, special memory out of the 16 years working with tourism?
Actually, I like talking, when I meet people on the ground, when I was a tour guide, I enjoy talk to people in both sides. I also learned something from the visitors, which so-called customer, but because I work for the small group, FIT, I don't feel like that I'm going to lecture them or anything. I just feel like I have friends, and someone that that I can bring and show them around, So in one way, I learning from the customer, and another ways, I like the feeling on the ground when I meet a lot of people, like how do they make livings, I see things that not so boring like in the office. That is the moment that I really enjoy when I was on the ground. When I work, to the office with Buay, at the beginning is quite difficult because we had been work in the office something like it's different view, different timeline to make things done. But I kind of like to be in the environment of holidays. That's why it's keep me quite long. Lots of good moments and lot of good people, that I still stay connect, in the last 16 years. That is another benefit, from just beside making a living.
I remember when I talked to you, what you said, one sentence you said really stuck with me. You mentioned tourism being an entertainment industry without script. When you meet a customer, you look at the customer's eyes and you immediately sense what makes him or her happy. And you will try your best to make them happy, to make their holiday happy. That really touched me. So I am going to ask the same question to your sister Buay. Buay, out of the 16 years working in tourism, what was your special moment, special memory?
Actually, my special memory is last year, like pandemic.
What happened?
So at the early of the period that we came, to the tourist business in Thailand, the business is like go up and down because we have the situation of the politician, in Thailand, close the airport, and burn the city, and the protesting many times. Like sometimes it's like flooded, and I've been through like many situations, and then I used to talk to my friend. Okay, nothing can hurt me in this business. But after COVID-19, yeah, I got something special. Yes.
I love your optimism. You were like,
Yes.
yay to COVID-19. So what did you do last year?
Actually, last year I tried to find like some of the business that we can get like some of a little bit of money to running the business until COVID gone, and then we can return to the office and then open the office again. But later on I found myself I have to do what I'm special, what I'm good at. So that's and also I start to do the online experience. I think this is another way to to prepare yourself before the business coming. So this is another way to to get people to know your business, even though you don't get the money right away, but later on I believe that if we have like second COVID or we have a third COVID, the business still there.
Well, let's hope we don't have necessarily the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
COVID,
yeah.
third COVID too soon. But it looks like you two are very, very resilient. And you talked about before COVID, you already had political uprising in Thailand, flood in the airport, which are all in a way a damage to tourism. But both you and you persisted and you tried to pivot. You also try to talk to Thai tourism board and working with Airbnb. So best of luck. Your effort last year will help you to recover when tourism resume. And I'm sure your experience and your optimism will be shared with many people in this group whose life and work are interrupted, were interrupted last year. So the final question before we start is, your approach is very unique. You work with locals. You basically went to the village, went to the farm. You look at how they live and eat and work. Why that approach? I don't know who wants to take this up.
Leave it for Eng. She's
Okay.
Actually, we've been in tourism and we're selling main products like, like highlight, like palace, temple, and some other like beach, undeniable that a lot of visitors come to Thailand for relaxing, and beach is one of the destinations that is combined. But for those places that I've been visit, is one of the government plan, for educate for the tour operators. We try to sell the the small destination so long, but none of our agents want to buy the idea. So it end up like we have seen this place before, and we kind of think like how to promote it. We can sell some to some of the customer that know us, and but not the agent. So we visit many places, and Airbnb is one of the marketplace, like a platform that we be able to put this kind of product in, but it's not really like popular, but because um like it's not like a super unique, but we know that it's something that unique. That's why, we since the COVID coming, it make us thinking to what is the position that we want to be, what is the position of the, that we want to present our product. And I think the culture is, we have a lot of them, that's why, we try to look over old product that we like it, but we don't have a ways to communicate with people. And sometimes it's not really super clear about the uniqueness on each place. And that's why, online experience is one thing that we put together an idea and what will be, the next thing that when the country is open again, that this is what we want to do.
Yes.
So I hope this is answer your curiosity. Actually, those places that I've been put it in the program, online experience, some of the places I visit long times ago, like 5-6 years, like the Fisherman Village. And this place also I visit many times, with bring friends and sometimes customer too,
Yes. So yes, it does answer the questions, and I hope when Thailand is open for global tourism, international tourism, with your offering today, with your talk today, we will be able to have a better experience by understanding more context and way of living of local communities. So I'm now going to invite In to start her tour, but I want all of us to do one thing beforehand. If you look at my window, Ing's window, and Buay's window, what we have done is we changed our name into our name, hyphen, the city we live, and the breakfast we had today. I would like you to do the same. Your name, your city, and the breakfast you had today. Okay, so that hopefully give people a fun idea about breakfast around the world. Now over to you, In. It's in your hands to take us to your unique Thai farm.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, everyone. So I'll show you about one of my favorite place. It's called Klong Mahasawat. Has any one of you visit Thailand before?
We raised some of our raised hand, and you can also use chat box.
Yeah,
to answer.
You can text or you can text send a message. So Minji can also say it in between of my of my experience. So this gonna be a fun trip to the farm. It's it's virtually visit, but I hope that you get the feeling how fun it is. So this shortened session is gonna be about briefly about the history of this place, and also some of activity, the tourism activities that has in operate in that particular area. And the third, it will be something special that I talked to Minji that we're gonna talk about the rice, which is the main staple of Thai people. That will be something different from my Airbnb experience. The Klong Mahasawat itself had been in the in-person experience, but just right before the COVID, so nobody visit. from the platform Airbnb, but this will be a time to show it online, up and online. So I'll give you an idea of this place. So this place is not really far from Bangkok. I hope you can see my mouse pointer. This is Bangkok, and this is Nakhon Prathom, or the location of the village where I'm talking about, or Klong Mahasawat. It's just like 30 minutes away from the Bangkok city center. Like if you've been to Bangkok before, the riverside area is very, very close to this town. 30 minutes, you will get to this village. Or if you stay in the Bangkok city center, like, the nightlife area or business area, like Silom or Sukhumvit, it will take around, an hour by estimate. So it is very, very, very nice place to visit and not really famous at all. So I'll talk about briefly about the history of this place. So the person who had a project, created this canal, his name is King Mongkut or King Rama the Fourth. Anyone see the Broadway? I saw like France lift the hand. Do you like to say something? Or shall I read?
So
Okay, since I've been there. Maybe May and Minji, like,
Yeah.
to say something about the chat.
yeah, people were saying they love Thailand and its food.
Okay. Actually, King Rama the Fourth, if you know on the Broadway, The King and I, he's the one that had been mentioned in that, like Broadway or like some movie, Anna and the King or The King and I. So he had a lot of mega projects that related to the temple built, the canal built. So this is one of the projects that he built. But the commanders that built this place, his name is Kham Bun, the shorter name. For the long name, his name is the Chao Phaya Thipakon Wong Mahakosathipadi. This is a long name of Thai people for the title that the king give the name for him. So this project, it takes 3 years to finish for the canal that 28 kilometers long for connect two rivers together. One is Chao Phraya River and another one is Tajin River. So it's built by the main Chinese labor who built this canal. So anyone would like to guess what is the reason, in 1800, why Thailand need to have a canal, that long?
So
between-
should we put the answer in the text box? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Between agricultural reason or safe traveling time?
Most people say B, or more and more people say A. So right now it's half. A and B, A and B. Can I say A plus B? Both reasons.
Okay. A and B, okay. Interesting. Actually, this is a good question that I ask because like I always get half and half answer. But let me answer. This is the answer. Ta-da! For safe traveling time, imagine that in 1800s, middle of 1800s, we don't have a car, we don't have anything. The only way that we traveling around is by the waterways. So canal is almost like a highway for us to connect one city to another city. And this is not a normal canal. We call it a holy canal because it's connect between the palace and also to this particular building. It's called JD. JD is like a half bell shape, pagoda. It's the third one. When the old in the old history of Thai history, when we have like a holy monuments, we're gonna build the new one, cover the old ones. So this is the third one, which have a smaller one inside, and we believe inside have the relics of the Lord Buddha. So this, I'll show you the direction. This is the Grand Palace where the king lives. If you can see my mouse, this is the Grand Palace, and this is the river of the king, and this is another river. It's called Tajin. This is the monument or the JD that I said. You know, if you travel by car, you know, from Google Maps, it take about an hour. You know, but in the old days, the king rowed the boat because no boat engine, and take the trip from his palace where he lives, you know, to the rivers, and then go around by the canal. And from here to here is a man-made section, which is take 28 kilometers. And this is the location of the Klong Mahasawat area. Okay, let's get a little, you know, get to know a little bit more about the agro-tourism on this particular area. So it's kind of like a visit the farm and also the canal visit. You can drive, you know, or you can take a train to this. This is the first stop, and will be about 5 stops, you know, lotus farm, vegetable farm, orchid farm, rice field, and rice snack, you know, for the visit of that place. Okay, let's travel together. We are taking to the boat trip, you know. This will be a first stop, and you know, like a smaller size group, they will take a motorboat, but it's operated by wooden. But this one, there's quite big size. So they have like you know, a little bit bigger one, and it's like a motor, and also it's made from iron one. So I have a question. The first stop that I'm going to visit and going to show you, I will dress up, you know, and then I'll ask you to guess where I visit. Let me dress up a little bit. Give me 1 second. And this is how it look like, you know. It's very, very big area, and the flower comes all the ways. You know, the harvesting is take around 8 months, you know, for process of this farming. Every 8 months, they pump the water out, and then, you know, ground it again, and then it takes 3, pump the water in, and then the lotus will take around 3 months to be ready to harvest, and they can harvest around 5 months, and then the process like this is gonna be, you know, go around, you know, like a circle. So this very, very labor intensive, you know. I think I saw friends raise their hand. France, raise the hand. I think I'll, you know, let you ask. You have a question?
So, yes, I do see Fran raise a question, but I think she raised it some time ago, maybe not for this particular part.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, this is how it look like, you know. I'll show shortly about this place. Very, very beautiful, you know. It's better to visit in the morning. So the next question, anyone would like to guess what kind of grass is this?
So shall we do it in the chat box again? So we need to guess what is it. Okay, I'm gonna put my answer as well. So actually, this is so far, everybody came up with the same answer. 100% saying rice paddy. Is that right?
Yes, that's rice. That is right. This is rice paddies.
Well done, everyone. fried rice. Jinda said
Okay.
fried rice.
Do you know, like 30 years ago, Thailand main income is from the, you know, agricultural. You know, we export rice. Rice has been one of the top 10 products that making money for our countries. So like 40, 50 years ago, you know, that was our main income to support our backbone. So maybe this is a good time to sharing about the main staple.
Yes.
Yes,
So, okay.
before I get to the detail of the rice.
Yes. So this is the activity we would like to invite everyone to share. Like, if you want to share what's the main staple food you have on a day-to-day basis. If you like, you can tell where are you from, and are you a more rice person or potato person? I will start. I put in my Zoom name rice congee for my breakfast. Usually I actually have croissant and coffee, but we run out of croissant because we don't go for physical shopping anymore, and our online shopping doesn't arrive until Monday. So because I always have rice at home, I grew up with rice culture. So the easy solution for me was to use the rice and have to make congee. So rice is my main staple. Anybody else? So Gary, you had donuts for your breakfast. And what's your staple food? You need to unmute yourself. Gary, would you like to unmute yourself?
There we go. I love rice, just love rice. I've always loved rice, but here the main staple food would be potatoes.
Yes, potatoes. And I also want to point out your Melbourne is the Melbourne in United States, not
That's
the
right.
Melbourne in Australia. Yes. I would like to invite Hamid because I see you put chickpeas for your breakfast. That's quite unique.
We had chickpeas curry. It's a food which you can have anytime actually. You can have it for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, and you can have it for dinner as well.
Yeah.
With chapatis, you know, with round chapatis.
Right. And you have Indian heritage, Pakistan.
No, Indian Afghan.
Indian Afghan. I want to invite Michael there because I saw your name says Michael, then Cape Cod and something with a C. So I'm just curious. What's the whole sentence?
Yeah, it's very boring, Minji. It's just coffee.
I see.
It's early for me.
Okay, so it is very early for you guys. And coffee, yeah, coffee is my must essentials. And I have actually 2 eggs. One is scrambled eggs for Lillian in Singapore, and 1 egg and beans for Val in Gloucestershire. You want to say a few things about your staple food, where you are, obviously, and what's your staple food these days?
Me? I'm trying to give up meat, and I had to give up dairy a long time ago. So I'm trying to eat a more and more plant-based diet, but I won't give up eggs.
Always have a space for something sweet. That's a very good philosophy.
Oh, very sweet. Well, that's chocolate, but that's a whole different food group.
Great. And how about Lillian and Andrea in Singapore?
Oh, we have very lavish breakfast actually. It's not long enough for us to put every details in. We actually, along with the scrambled eggs, Andre baked the walnut raisin bread, also the sourdough, and we're exploring brioche, and then maybe that Italian panettone. Yeah, because we find the Singapore panettone too expensive, so we decided to make ourselves. Yeah, those all staples. The last version of the staples.
Lillian, I can't wait to visit you guys in Singapore and have breakfast with you every single day.
But we also do congee from time to time.
I see. Great. And I see another rice actually in our window. That's sumili in Japan. So sumili, it looks like you have rice for your staple food as well. Is that right?
Yes. So actually, so rice cake, we say mochi. So maybe in your country, do you have mochi sweets? But this is not sweets. It's just with just mochi, and we baked it, and I eat sugar and soy sauce. Yeah, this is
Wow.
rice.
Nice. That's another way to use rice. So-
What do you call that in Japanese? What do you call that
Mochi.
name? Oh, just mochi.
Mochi. Yes.
Ah, okay. All right, thank you.
Nice. And okay. Great. Anybody else want to volunteer? Otherwise, I'm gonna invite Ying to continue.
Okay. Actually, let me share the screen back. Let me 1 second. Let me say, actually, in Thailand, we eat rice as a main staple. Life without rice is not right. For us, we eat rice 3 times a day. Can you handle that?
I know my husband wouldn't be able to, Mike wouldn't be able to handle it.
Okay, let me show you back at the way of living for life in the agricultural area. This is like a video from Buay friends, you know. Growing a rice is it's like kind of like a maintain the water levels, you know, in the farm. You know, the rice itself is around 4 months old. In some area, they can grow the rice for 3 times a year. Like in Krong Mahasawat, they can do it 3 times a year. But in other area, you know, they can just do once a year when the rain's coming. So I'll show you a little bit how when they, you know, like transfer like the water. So this is the rice field, and this is how the, you know, the farmer pump the water out, you know, out and in. When the water too much, they pump it out. Sometimes they got fish, frog, and some small fish, you know, along from these two. And this is like, you know, for us, let me pause the video. For people like me, you know, sometimes we cannot differentiate between the gas and the rice.
Oh.
She's a farmer. She's the green one. Like this is the grass. It's what you put. It's a kind of like you know, not good for the rice. The rice grass. So she need to take it out, but it's not gonna be thrown away because they keep this, and then at the end they will bring this, you know, to the cow.
I see. To feed the cows.
Yes, can be also feed the animal like cow. Okay, this is when the, you know, it's grow and it's ready to. So I think some of you know about the rice culture quite well. So this is how the rice is look like, you know. One of the, I don't know how, one branch, they have many of them. So in the old days, when there's not much machine, they need to ground this, you know, in order to have the rice bran coming out from this, you know. So at the end, it will be kind of like a rice like this. And this is technologies, you know. In the old days, you know, to eating rice is quite difficult. You know, in some the ways, you know, from the town area, they ground the rice like this, you know. They have a machine like, you know, pestle and mortar. Just put the rice bran inside and then crack it. That's how the rice granule coming out. But nowadays we have a kind of machine, which is a rice mill that can crack the rice out easily. So let me show you a bit. I have a rice, that there's a rice husk, and then a rice germ, and also the rice bran, and also inside layer is called rice bran. Like in the old days when they have no machine, we have a special kind of rice we call cow dang. Actually, there is like a rice bran inside. This kind of rice is used to consider a poor quality rice, and only the people who live in the jail be able to eat it. But nowadays we know it's very, very good nutrition. So, the white rice is cheaper, but the brown rice is more expensive. Let me show you this. This I bring a rice, like this. Can you see? Maybe it's too small.
Yeah, we can see the small rice grain.
Yeah, rice grain. And the farmer, when they finish the crop, they're gonna keep the rice like this. It can be harvest for the next season. So it can keep like this for about 3 years at least.
Wow.
This is like what you have an idea. So crack the rice is gonna be like, like this. So brown rice is actually not brown. Sorry, it's called brown rice. Not really brown. It's just a kind of like pale yellow color, but it's not polished. Sticky rice also the same pattern. Only the blackberry or some other kind of rice that have a different color from the outside, it's create a different color. This is the rice for us.
So we got a couple of questions here.
Okay.
One is, can you explain what white rice is? What do you mean by white rice? Does it mean
white rice?
White rice, white. Is it the color white?
Yeah, like I think Eng has a script later, how to become a white rice.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Let me share back to the screen. Share the screen back. Okay, this is a rice mill. This is a smaller size. In the old days, the rice mill like this, you own only like those who have a lot of money to make a factory. But this one is smaller size that the farmer can own and create the rice, and they can maybe use for home use or also sell, to people. Actually, the color that is white because the machine itself polish the outside. So for the machine can be set that it need further white or less, like I mean like they want it more white or less white. I hope this is answer your question.
Scottish.
Okay, this is the rice we got, but this rice almost like a Japanese rice, For us, Thai rice or jasmine rice will be longer than this. Okay, this is this is the first polish, the color kind of like yellow.
Yeah, this is what we call brown rice.
Yeah, and the second one is the white rice, which is, have a, more white color. Okay, and this is how we cook the rice. Do you guys cook the rice the same? Do
Yes.
you have like rice cooker?
So if you've got rice cooker, type in the chat box. If you got a rice cooker. Yes, I have in London. Amit has a rice cooker in London as well. What's Instapot? Michelle in Michelle in Guatemala, yes. Lillian in Singapore use a pot. Val in the UK cook rice in the microwave. Joanna
Wow.
in London boil the rice. Sunny in Canada use pressure cooker. And Gary, yeah, pressure cooker.
Wow.
Okay.
For us, you know, like we've been taught that, you know, if you cook the rice, we clean it, and you just pour the water, you know, on the above. You put the hand in, you know, like, and then put the water just above the hand, or just like one this side, you know, above the rice. You will get the rice that proper cooked. But actually, this is just like a regular stream rice, and your other technique for cooking a sticky rice and other things. So this is, you know, how we cook and do it. When it comes to the most famous Thai rice, it's called jasmine. The whole kitchen or the whole house will smell very fragrant.
Is there any reason it's called jasmine rice?
Maybe because of the smell, like a jasmine flower. And it's only grow in just 4 provinces in Thailand. That also is my hometown. Maybe because of the, you know, and it's also 1 time a year that can grow a jasmine rice or khao hom mali in Thailand. Next, I will show you that, you know, why we can eat rice, you know, as a main staple over like three times a day, and also we have some snack to show you. This is like a rice noodle. This is a fresh one. It's we call khanom jeen, you know. It will good just for a couple days, 1 or 2 days. Actually, we eat with curry, or sometimes it's a spicy fish soup. And this is a pad thai also made from rice noodle. You know, noodle that made from rice flour. This is a fried rice, crab fried rice. And this one is a sticky rice with mango. I hope everyone know. This one is khao yam. This is the southern style Thai cooking. You know, it's spicy with various kind of vegetable. And also this one is, you know, coconut meat. So you can see that various kind of menu that we can create from rice. Actually, this kind of like a, you know, a small noodle, and, you know, cooking also similar dish, you know, to Vietnamese style, but it's also sell a lot in Thailand. This also, you know, various kind of noodle that made from rice. And nowadays, rice cannot limit only like thing to eat. You know, this is also a product made of rice. This is a baby powder. It's an innovation, you know, for the Thai government to support the small company in Thailand. And this product are selling or give away, you know, in the hospital. And another thing, this is my sister-in-law, you know, she made this product. You know, it's a substitute coconut milk. You know, this is have a rice, like rice oil as a component. I think we have like a, yes, the rice that you see earlier is use butterfly pea flour. That's correct. Okay, this is a product of rice. And also, if you visit this place, there's also, you know, a rice cracker. Rice can also make a cracker and a snack. And
Oh,
you can, yeah,
rice
this is
cracker.
also, yeah, very common a snack for Thailand, you know. We call khao tang or sometimes it's khao tang. This one is like a community size, you know, that make it. But in the industrial, you know, we also have like a big one, a proper package, you know, selling on the airport and other stuff. This is one of the top popular products, you know, of this area. And now, you know, I have like a shortened clip to show you about the whole experience of visiting this place, you know, maybe about 1 minute. Okay, let me show. Yes, this will be, you know, the end of like my part. And if you're interested, you can also visit my website or visit Airbnb experience, you know, online experience or offline experience for more, you know, adventure to the farm. Well, thank you everyone for participation, and you know, it's really fun to talk. I'm a little bit exciting, but you know, you're so welcome if you have any question.
So there are a couple of questions. So maybe what we can do is for the previous emails I sent, I linked in as Buay's website. It's called, so if you want to do an online experience with them for a fuller version or visit a Thai fishing village or Bangkok's Chinatown, feel free to visit their website. If you've got further questions after today, feel free to post your questions in our Facebook group as well. But thank you so much. This is a very, very unique online talk you did for you to show us a way of life. Now for the final 5 minutes, I have a couple questions to ask people in the group. If you like, you can turn on the video as well, if that's okay. How many of you know the book Harry Potter? Raise your hand. Okay, Harry Potter, most of us know. Do you know where was Harry Potter written? Type in the chat box. Was it Oxford?
Oxford.
Scotland, Edinburgh. Very, very good. So Harry Potter was written by an English author, but she wrote it in Edinburgh, Scotland. That somebody said in the UK. Yes, you're right. So next week, we are going to celebrate a Scottish festival called Burns Night, where Harry Potter was written. Scotland has produced a lot of writers and scientists for the world, actually. And this poet, Scottish one, called Robert Burns, he was born in 1800, around that time. And he was born into a very poor farmer's family. But he had a quite unusual ability. He had exceptional writing talent. In a word, he had the power of words to change and influence the words. Today, the song he wrote, Orlan San, is sung by everyone around the world when we celebrate New Year. It's also a song related to Japan. For the Japanese stores, when they are closing the store, they will play the song written by Robert Burns. So 25th of January, the whole country, especially Scotland, will have a festival called Burns Night, where they celebrate the life of Robert Burns, the writer and the man who influenced the world with his words. One of the special things people celebrate, that the format is a dinner called Burns Supper, where you will have very, very special Scottish food, and everybody reads out the works and poems written by Robert Burns. This ritual, Burns Supper, is not only held in the UK, but also around the world, in South Africa, in Beijing, and in Hong Kong, for the world to remember the great writer of his time. He's quite an eccentric guy in the sense, I think he had 9 to 13 children without a marriage. He's passionate. He is a firm believer in education and the concept of equality. Back in his time, it was very rare for a farmer's boy to mix with higher social class, but he was able to make friends and build contact with everybody in the society. These are a few unusual things about him. So next week, on Sunday, we have the honor to invite the president of Robert Burns World Federation. He himself is an Englishman. He moved to Scotland at the age of 2 and became a Robert Burns expert. So he's going to have a talk for us about Scottish culture, where I believe, Lillian, you lived in Scotland, Edinburgh, for a couple of years. So definitely you should come. And he's going to talk about Scottish culture, story, and the life of Robert Burns, and the traditions of Burns Night and Burns Supper. Also, he invites all of us to join a virtual Robert Burns Supper the night before. So it will be 7 p.m. UK time on 23rd of January, which is a Saturday. So if you have time, join the virtual Burns Supper first. Then we will talk about Burns' story and Burns' life and Scottish culture on Sunday. I will send out the email together with the invitation of the virtual supper. So we will see everybody in a week. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you again, Buay and Ing and Ploy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Save chat.